I mean, first, congratulations.
Thank you.
The Champions League final. I mean, how do you feel?
Very excited. I feel like now, the week leading in, it's starting to feel just more like a reality. At the same time, like nothing has changed in the sense that we're, at Arsenal training another week. But it being a final is really exciting.
Has it been a bit weird? Because you've had kind of 2 weeks off since kind of the end of the season and had a bit of a break. Kind of, what's it been like having kind of these 2 weeks to prepare for the game?
Yeah, it's definitely unique in terms of what we're used to. I mean, playing like 2 to 3 times a week. But it's been nice. I mean, we've had some days to recharge and just kind of giving us extra days to prepare. But it has gone by really quick, so not too bad.
Take me back to that after the Real Madrid, the first leg of the quarterfinal. Obviously, you knew going into the second leg, you're going to need to overturn and the deficit and to kind of put out a big performance. What was the mood kind of like in the team looking back at that quarterfinal?
Yeah. I mean, I think obviously, frustration in ourselves in terms of playing better and eliminating their chances and losing. So definitely, the first initial reactions were, wanting to get back out there and play again. So I think with Champions League and having that opportunity to have a second leg and then leave it all out there, I think that's one of our strengths. And again, with Real Madrid, Lyon, even with like Bayern last year, I think we've had, a few moments in the year where we've proven that we can come back.
And how important was kind of that belief that you had then when you went into the semi-final? Obviously, similarly, less of a difference to overturn, but obviously still kind of in that second leg, especially knowing that you were going to need to kind of score fast and you guess kind of put Lyon on the back burner to kind of overturn the 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, it's massive. I feel like it's paramount in the sense of we know we've done it before and we have, in a sense, experience and proof that we've been in tough situations and we've been able to turn it around. But with that, every opponent is different. So I think we take the learnings and the positives, but also know that with each opponent we face, it's going to be different. It's not going to be the same and we can't expect anything.
What were the celebrations like after that game? Because I know I saw a little bit on social media, but how excited were you guys to be in a Champions League final?
After the Lyon game?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was amazing. Just we had to, go home and all that and get back to work still in terms of the league. So I think for us, we thought of it as doing our job, getting to the final, but then, looking at our next WSL game. So I think for us, it was just such a great feeling and playing away, playing at Lyon, they're such an amazing team. It was definitely one of the best moments I've had so far at Arsenal.
I guess, obviously, when we spoke in pre-season, obviously, this is the first kind of full run you've had in the Champions League. And you kind of talked about how it was quite a big reason as to why you moved over to England. I guess now looking back on kind of this year, is it a bit of a pinch me moment to think that you're in a Champions League final in your first run in the Champions League with Arsenal?
Very much so. Yeah, I think especially coming from the US, you see it from afar, and now that we're in a final, it doesn't feel real. But I know, for us, how we see it, it's like such a huge opportunity. And again, it's not given. And so using this opportunity, taking every moment, and again, leaning on the experience we had, but also, facing Barca and such an amazing opponent. And they have a lot of experience as well and players. So getting after it.
I wonder if you spoke much to kind of Mariana and Lyra about kind of what you might come up against with Barcelona, obviously playing for them previously, and kind of what you might face with them.
Yeah, they've definitely helped and put input in terms of Barca and how they play. And this week we've definitely, gone into the details of their team. And, they have so many amazing attacking players and threats. And it's going to be hard. We know it's going to be hard, but I think we're ready and excited for it. It's a challenge and it is a final. So for us, it's anything can happen. And obviously we're very humble, but I think we're ready to kind of see where we are and get after it.
I guess kind of you touched on that a little bit before about kind of where this sits kind of in your career. I guess how highly does reaching the Champions League final rank in all of the stuff you've achieved so far in your career?
I mean, this would be one of, if not the biggest things, especially like my parents are coming and it's just nothing. Champions League is nothing I've ever experienced before. So I think to be in the final one in itself is an accomplishment, but we're not there just for that. So we'll see.
I was going to ask if your family coming over. I guess how excited are they to kind of get over? Have they been to Portugal before, or?
I don't think so. After the Lyon game, sorry, I can't talk. I got a message from them. They're like, "We'll see you there." So they sorted it out, got it all done. But yeah, I think for them, they also realized like how big of a moment this is. So it'd be really cool to have them.
Yeah, definitely. I guess kind of one thing we've talked about a lot with this team this season has been kind of that togetherness. Obviously, season didn't start out the best and kind of how you wanted it to. And it's been a really interesting kind of build and kind of growth under a name kind of this whole season. I guess when you look back kind of on the season as a whole, kind of what's your assessment of what you've achieved and also kind of the journey you've been on this season?
Yeah, I feel like it's been a roller coaster. We've had really big highs and we've also had some lows. And so in that sense, you know, taking again the learnings and the positive from it, but then knowing next season we can be so much better and I think achieve more than we did this year for sure. So I think it's just exciting and a part of football in the sense that you can always get better. There's always more to do, and reflect and then grow.
Yeah, I was going to ask, I don't know whether you've spoken at all to Em. I don't know if you've spoken to Lindsay after the semi-final, I guess, ahead of the final about kind of any advice or whether you spoke to anyone about kind of facing Barca in the final.
No, I mean, really Mario and Cody have been the people that we've leaned on in terms of experience. And they talked about the first time Barca had made it to the final and how that looked compared to the other times they had. And besides that, just kind of keeping it, you know, team focused, like in our bubble.
Cool. And I guess kind of lastly, have you let yourself think a little bit about what it might be like to win the Champions League, or are you just fully focused on kind of doing the game plan and getting it? Have you let yourself dream a little bit about what it might feel like?
Definitely have dreamed a little bit. Yeah, I think for me, I'm very much, as you just said, a day-by-day process. You know, it's 90 minutes, all that. But yeah, I have dreamed a little bit about it.